Hello and welcome to the Metropolitan Elites. It's stuff happening. Where do we start? It's difficult. Make sure you watch the video, whole video, right? Because there's lots of people. People have said more than one thing. Is the point, and things are being deliberately conflated, etc., etc. So you have to watch all of it, otherwise you're not allowed to do anything. Shush. Okay, so Naz Shah has said dodgy stuff, and also posted a ridiculous joke from the Big Bang Theory. I think that's where it's from, where the outline of Israel on the US, problem solved, which is a stupid thing to post for a politician. It's insensitive, and because of political correctness, I think that's a horrible thing to say. It's not racist in any way. She's also posted other things which I think are to do with deporting Jews and things like that. So they definitely are, if indeed she said them. I'm finding it difficult to... I'm reading all the stuff and then I forget what was really said because it's feeding you something slightly different. So yeah, definitely should be got rid of, racist, bugger off. Then Ken Livingstone is brought on live TV. Why did they bring on Ken Livingstone live on TV? Why? Who basically is the king of Godwin's law, and every single thing he ever does, he brings up the Nazis. So when you're talking about anti-Semitism and Israel, it's not the best, not the most tactful thing to bring up, yeah? But what he said was, Hitler was working with Zionists initially to deport Jews to Israel, which is true, yeah? But I think at some other point he said, anti-Semitism, that's not the same, it's not really the same as racism. That is racist, he can bugger off, if indeed he said that. But the thing about what Hitler was doing is true. However, you read and you read and you read, and what it's saying is, he said Hitler was a Zionist, and he didn't. But I started to believe it. Yeah, mysteriously just before there's an election going on. But yeah, if he really said anti-Semitism isn't racism, he's the same as Boris, who is also a racist, the same as all these other people who are racists on the right.
Yeah, that's a fairly good summary of what's happened. The Naz Shah thing, I've only seen the picture that she shared on Facebook. So she shared a picture, she didn't post it, okay.
It's weird that I remember reading a thing she'd said something really properly racist.
I saw an interview with Ian Dow, and it may have been with Ken Livingstone actually, where he started putting interpretations on what she was saying, and then saying it as if she had said that. Well, no, you've got to judge people by what they actually say. The picture of Israel in the US, I've never seen that picture before.
It's from the Big Bang Theory. It was in the Big Bang Theory.
I saw it before the big hoo-ha, and I kind of assumed it was a statement about the US sheltering Israel in the United Nations and sending them buckets loads of military aid.
Yeah, which is a valid thing.
Yeah, which is a valid thing. I didn't think it was a statement of realistically we must deport all people from Israel to the US.
Yeah.
So I'm not, I'm open-minded. I mean, she's going to a disciplinary thing through the Labour Party. I'm pretty sure, they'll get to the bottom of it. And if she's anti-Semitic, I'm sure she'll be expelled. If not, then she won't. She'll be.
But if she is, what is she doing in the Labour Party? I don't understand. She's in the wrong party, surely.
Well, yeah. There is that. But the kind of story's moved on from Naz Shah now. I mean, on Question Time last night, you had Alex Salmon kind of defending her, saying, okay, she's apologised, she did something. What you didn't mention there was, I mean, she's a politician, she shouldn't be doing this sort of thing. She actually posted that before she was a politician. So, this is stuff that they've been ranking through, dredged through a past Facebook post and found this, we found an anti-Semite, we've got...
Mysteriously just before the election.
And we've got the steel crisis going on. Tata about saying you've got like a week to sort this out, otherwise we're shutting the place and everyone's going to lose their job. Mm-hmm. You've got the Zach Goldsmith, absolutely diabolical Conservative campaign.
Yeah. But don't talk about that.
Don't talk about that. Oh look, an anti-Semite over there.
Yeah.
And for some reason... Kevin Livingstone starts going around the radio station and television studios.
Because they're inviting him, isn't it? That's what it is.
It's invited because he says controversial things.
Because they know he's going to do Godwin's law.
One of the things he said to Andrew Neil, I'll always answer the question. And he does. And that's why they like him, because he'll answer the question and he'll have a fairly interesting spin on it.
Yeah.
Now, all of a sudden, he said, comment that actually the Nazis were working with the Zionists,
which is true,
because they saw that as a possibility for the Jews to get all German Jews over to Israel. Yeah. Now, it's not apologising for that. And you can see there is sort of like overlap.
But there's deliberate obfuscation there, in that he said something else, which is well dodgy, and he said that, and then they've pushed that aside, and now look, that's really dodgy to question Zionists at all.
And I've seen the interview. I'm not even sure what the point he was making yet. I mean, that's why bring it. The only thing I thought was, he's sort of trying to establish a bit of credibility here, saying, look, I know about the state of Israel's history and the Zionist history. You're not dealing with an idiot here. You're dealing with someone who's actually read something about the history and understands the history. And from that perspective, it's not something I was particularly aware of, and I don't think many people would be aware of. And it's it is a little bit interesting. You've got Zionists and Nazis sort of in discussion before the Second World War. I mean, that's kind of mind blowing. Straight you think that can't be right. But when you think about it, actually, there's a bit of overlap there. Yeah, they're not, they don't have the same attitude towards Jews or anything like that. And Hitler, there's no claim that Hitler was doing this out of the goodness of his heart, but Hitler wanted the Jews out of Germany because he was a racist.
Yeah, because he believes.
And the Zionists wanted to create the state of Israel, and they were actively encouraging Jewish people to come and live in the state of Israel to sort of get it established. Well, there is overlap there, and it kind of makes sense.
Well, I think his point. I assumed his point was that it was about it's there. That's racist. Hitler thought all races should live in their own countries and be separate, and that's the same as the Zionists, isn't it? They believe that this area here should be for one race and no one else should be allowed there. That's the extreme Zionists.
Yeah, I don't think Zionists. Well, I don't think Zionists at that point. All they want is a legitimate state, and they want the right to determine who lives and who doesn't live in that state. Now, the Labour Parliamentary Party has just gone into full overload meltdown.
Yeah.
We've got basically a witch hunt. They wanted immediately kicked out of the party. Witch hunt, basically.
Yeah.
They wanted no due process. It was get him out, get him suspended, get him out. This is ridiculous. We're sick of Ken Livingstone saying all these ridiculous things. When realistically, when you analyse what he said, there's very little that I can determine is anti-Semitic. Lots of people are asserting that he's anti-Semitic, and that he said anti-Semitic things, and then yet when you ask them to justify that claim, you get it's typical bullcrap.
You're anti-Semitic.
Yeah, you're anti-Semitic. Justifying anti-Semitism. Well, no, just tell me what's anti-Semitic. And then you get all this bullcrap, which is obviously not anti-Semitic. I mean, there is actually. What is anti-Semitic about saying that the Nazis work with the Zionists?
And it's measurably true.
Even if it's not true, what is anti-Semitic?
They've not said that, though. They've said he said that Hitler was a Zionist, which isn't true, and he didn't say that.
But even if that's the case, how is that anti-Semitic?
Yeah, because it's about Zionism, it's not about Jews.
All sorts of people are going around labelling people as anti-Semites now, and we haven't even got onto John Mann. I mean, did you see the outburst?
Yeah.
It's disgrace. Now, if that ended up in court, Ken Livingstone brought a slander charge upon John Mann. I think John Mann will pay for that financially.
That's true.
Because he has called someone
Nazi
apologist and an anti-Semite, massively damaging to reputations. And we've got, as I've already mentioned, we've got the London mayoral campaign, which is overtly racist. Yeah, absolutely ridiculous. We've got, Sadiq Khan, a human rights lawyer, is being damned by association because he met a Tory supporting guy who doesn't support ISIS, Yeah, this.
But had a thing. He did a big talk on why ISIS, on the evil of ISIS.
He called David Cameron out on it and said, "I dare you to say it in public, and I'll sue you."
Yeah.
Yeah, but David Cameron didn't say ISIS in PMQs. He said IS.
He said Islamic State, didn't he?
Yeah.
And not ISIS, just a state that's Islamic.
I mean, that is dog whistle politics.
Yeah.
It's not comparable. These two things are not comparable. Yeah.
Yeah.
The anti-Muslim rhetoric, which genuine racism, I hear on an almost daily basis, or I read on an almost daily basis. On the internet, comments, whatever.
Yeah.
Anti-Semitic comments. I'm the same as Ken. I've personally never been in a room or spoken to anyone who's made an anti-Semitic comment.
I've seen it on the internet, but I've never heard someone personally say it. Yeah.
Obviously I know about incidents of anti-Semitism, but it is a really rare thing in this country because
it seems to be.
It's quite difficult to identify someone as Jewish because it's a religion. They're defined by religion and culture. It's not a physical thing.
Yeah, you can't tell what a person. But and the media don't talk about them. They're on that. Certainly, it sounds like it's definitely a problem, and it's definitely there, and it's just equally with the anti-brown skinned stuff.
Yeah. I mean, the other issue of this is the way the Parliamentary Labour Party has used this issue to undermine Jeremy Corbyn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, you've got people going on TV, John Woodcock, saying there is a faction of the Labour Party membership who hold these views, new members. So what he's basically saying is that
Jeremy Corbyn has attracted...
Jeremy Corbyn supporters are anti-Semitic. Where is the...
Who are these people?
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
His whole ideology is the exact opposite. He's a wishy-washy, politically correct, etc., isn't he? So it makes no sense on any level to say that he is anti-Semitic or would attract anti-Semites. It makes no sense.
And the Corbyn supporters who have entered the Labour Party they've had a lot of things thrown at them by the Parliamentary Labour Party, the militant Blairites, terrorist sympathisers, pacifists, all that sort of anti-democratic. Remember the furore over people sending MPs letters over the Syria airstrike?
Yeah, bullying.
Yeah, bullying. They're bullies.
They're disagreeing with me. How dare these lower people
they
haven't been MPs?
They hate debate, that sort of thing. I think there's got to be a point where the Labour Party actually addresses this because the Labourship membership should not be getting this kind of abuse from Parliamentary Labour Party members.
Yeah.
From MPs. It's ridiculous.
It is absolutely. And it has to be said, this seems so obviously orchestrated. The fact that it started with something that had been dug up from years ago. This was planned in advance. They knew it was coming and they planned it just before the election. We were saying, weren't we, about how it's gone quiet on the attacking Corbyn front. That's why. Yeah. This is the big push.
Well, this is it now. I mean, this is
really
the
worried.
Sensitive part. Last week you had Chris Leslie, another one of the usual group, coming out saying we should be 12, 16 points ahead now, whatever he said.
Yeah.
And then this week we've had John Mann turn a sensitive issue into almost a disaster.
Massive disaster. Yeah.
And it suggests that the Parliamentary Labour Party are willing to dismantle the Labour Party if they don't get
their own way. We don't want it at all because it's going to sabotage.
The fact is, Jeremy Corbyn is still massively popular amongst the people who elected him.
Yeah. And
if they forced him out and he stood again, he'd win. Yeah. Or you'd get someone like him in. Yeah, there'd be no two ways about it. If Jeremy Corbyn doesn't get a fair crack of the whip, you'll just get Jeremy Corbyn Mark II.
Yeah.
Because the people who have entered the Labour Party are politically engaged. They understand the political manoeuvring that's going on in the Parliamentary Labour Party, and if these militant Blairites think that they're going to recapture the Labour Party by smearing Jeremy Corbyn and associations with Jeremy Corbyn, well, they've got another thing coming. They are literally going to break the Labour Party apart.
So anyway, that was really long, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, see you next week. Well, at least there was some news, so good news.